Right, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Post show, 3 days post show, Wednesday or 4 days, depending on if you count show day or not. What a weekend, quality. I've come back down to ground. To be honest, I didn't really celebrate or relish in the moment that much. I didn't have time to. Obviously the Saturday show was a big one. That was probably the biggest one out of all the shows I've done, actually, in terms of the calibre of athlete I went up against, the amount of athletes I went up against, and the result, and obviously winning a 2 rows overall, which obviously we know is the road to the IFBB Pro card. So for me to win an overall on that pathway is a big one. It's a big statement, some would say, but yeah, very happy. Obviously the PCA then Sunday, epic show, epic production. Well done to the team at PCA, Ryan and all the crew. It was a wicked one. Took the class win, which I was over the moon with, going up against Carlton again. Shout out to Carlton, cracking bodybuilder, and I knew I was going to have my work cut out again going up against him. We bumped into each other in tanning, and we kind of crossed eyes and was like, we go again, because obviously we were in FitX last year. So yeah, it was good to get a little bit of redemption, I'm going to call it that, because obviously he beat me last year. So I did say on the PCA interview afterwards, we're 1-1 now, and Carlton put a post up saying best of 3 at the British finals, which we'll get done in six and a half weeks or something now. So yeah, that was a good result. And then obviously on to the overall, where Jack went toe to toe. It was like James and the fucking giant, Jay and the giant. The overall was sick. Like, it was a wicked battle. I think even though there was 10 of us up there, by the sounds of it and from the feedback, it was a 2-man show, two-man horse race, me and Jack. But Jack being such a fucking dominating figure, it was going to be hard to beat him. And I think it was one of those ones where at a toss of a coin, I don't think anyone would have grumbled, but Jack obviously took the win, and well deserved as well. It was well deserved. Epic bodybuilder, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. I'm going to say it like that because he is a lot younger than me, so you know, I'm like an old man talking down to a kid, but it's like he's got a very bright future. He's a freak, and I think this is just like the start of where his career in bodybuilding is going to go. So just like a general overview of like how we kind of run things. In terms of the peak, we didn't actually do anything at all. We didn't use any sort of diuretics, peak max, nothing. We didn't even use fucking dandelion root tablets. It was that basic that we did. It was a very calculated peak from Cal. It was more so just a nice, steady, slow approach across. I think it was the total amount of days where we started like looking at it was about 9 days when I was still in Turkey, where we increased food, and it was just kind of getting a stable look and finding the look that we liked. And then when we found it, it was like, hold that. And that was pretty much how we run it, which I think yesterday Carl put a post up saying he hashtagged it like no secret guru prep peak or something like that. So yeah, it was just like straight up same food, same water. I did 10 litres a day. We tweaked the amount of water pre-stage, so I obviously touched on this in the videos, but it was like 3.5 litres on the Saturday pre-stage, or 3 litres, and then the day after it was 3.5, and then another litre in between the class win and the overall, because there was such a big gap between it, which it was quite a long day. And thank you to everyone that came down to support as well. I want to say thank you for hanging around, because I know how much of a fucking long day it was. It was long for me backstage with my feet up, never mind you guys that aren't really into bodybuilding, sitting there fucking watching the show, you know, for however many hours, getting there for like 11 and then not really leaving till 5-6 p.m. So much appreciated. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you very much to both friends, family and clients. So for me now, it's 6.5 weeks out from the British finals weekend, which again is going to be a double whammy weekend. Two Bros on the Saturday, and that's in Bradford, and then Telford the day after for the PCA. Luckily they split the men's classes across days, so I can do both, so I'm not missing out on one or the other. And then we'll see what happens from there. Like, we've got the IBFA British that I'm qualified for, which is 2 weeks after that it's 1 week after that, sorry, in Blackpool. And then 3 weeks after that is the Euros in Milan, Italy. So right now, as I sit here, it's like 10 weeks until the end of the season. 6.5 weeks until we go again. 6.5 weeks till the big ones, which I've wanted to do for many years now. So very excited, very motivated, especially after the weekend. I've had some feedback from the PCA. I'm not going to say what my feedback was, because just like a fighter, they don't reveal their weaknesses. Let's just say I had a lot of positive feedback and minor criticism, really, for me to work on. And those things, before I'd even received my feedback, before coming to the gym today, I'd already started working on them yesterday, because I already knew, just from looking at the footage and pictures and all that, I already knew what those weaknesses or things needed tweaking needed to be done. So I was proactive on that, and that's pretty much it. Food, Carl sent my plan across yesterday. We're on a lot of food. Like, I thought we'd be on less. Cardio's back in at 30 minutes, stays, steps at 11,000, and then water 10 litres a day, standard, bend 10. And then food is like 4,500, I think, on training days, about 3,500 on rest days. I've got obviously all the macros and everything on my plan, but yeah, food's quite high. And I've said to Carl, I've said, this is how I want to look at the British. I've got an expectation of myself as how I want to look in terms of the condition I want to bring. I want to set the bar even higher with the condition card. This weekend gone was my best yet, condition-wise. I want to take it up a notch, a few notches by the British. So that is the goal for me, to be probably the most skinned out guy at the British. Because you know, it was the case at Two Bros on the weekend and PCA, so I want to make a statement that the British, regardless of the result, they're not going to knock like the condition that I'm bringing to that stage. So Carl's on board with it. He was like, "Yep, so we can do that." So that's the plan of attack. 6.5 weeks to do that. Now, for me, my life gets a little bit fucking crazy for 2 weeks. I think I'm only actually in the UK for a day and a half over the next 2 weeks. Tomorrow I fly to Italy with 𝘗𝘳𝘰𝘶𝘥𝑭₺, out there till Tuesday, fly back Tuesday. Wednesday I'm on the Big Dog cast with Nath Styles, Jimmy Tonk and the Doctor. So I've got to drive up to Derby, so I fly back to Manchester Tuesday, drive home, drive up to Derby on Wednesday, do the podcast, drive home, and then Thursday drive back to Manchester to fly to Germany again with 𝘗𝘳𝘰𝘶𝘥𝘭𝘺 for the Dennis James show, where Cuba's competing. So I'm obviously doing all the footage and the content for them, and then we fly back from there on the Monday. So on that Monday is when I've got like a clear run then, and that's why we pushed those shows from the 4th of October regionals through to this past weekend, so that I could get them done, tick them off, so I can get this 2 weeks out of the way of madness, and then get back and then have a clear run for the British, which will be 4 weeks. So that'll be 4 weeks of that. And then the 21st of September, we've got Kane competing in the PCA First Timers. He's looking absolutely incredible. So we're doing a trial peak week next week, and then it's the real deal peak week, and then it's showtime. So I'm going to try and document that, either by getting someone on board to do the content or me doing it myself. We'll see. So that's the 21st. So that's kind of the next couple of weeks for me, outside of me just doing my own shit and my own prep. So there we go, a little update, little wrap up of the shows. Like, I just want to close this video off, I guess, by saying, like, a massive thank you to everyone that's come across my YouTube or my Instagram over the last couple of weeks, because it's been flying. The insights that I've got on the Instagram is like 1.5 million right now views, and I'm getting followers. Like every time I go on there, there's like 10 new followers or whatever every couple of hours, and it's really building up the momentum in terms of like the awareness of me on social media as a bodybuilder this year. I can feel like I'm getting recognition as a bodybuilder. Obviously I've had it in the past, but it feels like I'm getting it a little bit more from the last couple of shows, this last weekend and this prep. So yeah, thank you to everyone that's supported it. Thank you for the messages, the shares, the likes and everything. You know, I know it's a lot of false shit like online, but it does go a long way, and sometimes those likes and comments can just give you that little boost in a prep phase when you have been dieting since the last week of April and it's now fucking first week of September. When you're on your ass and you've literally got no fat in your ass, those little likes and comments can go a long way. So yeah, it's much appreciated. Thank you. Continue to support, continue to share, and yeah, we'll continue to document as much as possible running into the British finals. We're going to get up to see Carl at some point, definitely documenting that. And then we've got 4 shows left. So unless something crazy happens earlier and, you know, we don't need to do any more shows, I'm never going to put that out there, but we'll, you know, we are doing shows that potentially could happen. We'll see. But thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you when I'm back from Italy. Peace.